Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How's it going?
What is food?
Hard to say. Depends on the mood. Right now, probably a really good cup of coffee and a quiet moment. What about you? What feels good to you today?
Why do humans need food?
Basically, it's fuel. Your brain and body are just big machines that need calories to keep the lights on, keeping your heart beating, your muscles moving, and your mind sharp. Without it, the system just shuts down. Do you think it's mostly about the survival part, or is there more to it?
How did early humans find food?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. So, a man's pan? What do you mean?
What are the first food humans ate?
I'm not entirely sure I follow. Are you asking about what people eat when they're babies, or maybe how diets change as men get older?
How did cooking change humans' life?
It basically turned a necessity into a huge part of social and domestic identity. For a long time, it locked women into the home, making them, the primary managers of the household. But it also gave them a space where they had a lot of influence and a way to express care and creativity. Do you think that role was more of a burden or a way for them to hold power in the family?
Why is food important for survival?
In the modern world, it's kind of like the invisible infrastructure. Almost everything we rely on to survive, food supply chains, electricity, medicine, clean water systems, is run by code. If it all vanished, the systems that keep billions of people fed and healthy would just stop. Do you see it as a tool that makes us stronger, or does it make us too dependent?
How do food provide?
For that immediate burst, your body goes for simple carbohydrates, think sugars and refined flour. They break down fast, hitting your bloodstream almost instantly, so your brain and muscles have quick fuel. It's like a sprint. Do you usually go for those quick energy fixes, or do you prefer things that keep you going longer?
What are the main types of nutrient in food?
If you're talking about what the body actually needs to thrive, it usually comes down to the big three: proteins for building, healthy fats for the brain, and complex carbs for steady energy. But great food is subjective. Some people swear by a raw plant based diet, while others think nothing beats a hearty, home cooked meal. What does a great meal look like to you?
Why do different countries have different food?
It usually starts with what was actually available in the backyard. If you lived by the coast, you ate fish. If you were in the mountains, you relied on grains or livestock. Then you add in climate, religion, and trade, and you get these unique flavors. It's basically a map of where people have been and what they had to survive. Do you have a favorite cuisine that feels totally different from your own? Hey, just a heads up, our call is almost at the time limit and will end in about a minute. I don't want you to get cut off mid thought. You can always call me back later to pick this up.
How did agriculture change food production?
Greek culture shifted a lot when they moved from just subsistence farming to specialized production, like olive oil and wine. It basically turned them into a trade powerhouse, which funded the arts, philosophy, and those massive temples that changed them from isolated villages into
What is the story of farming? What is the story of farming?
It basically started about 12,000 years ago when people stopped just following the herds and started realizing they could actually control the growth of plants. Instead of wandering to find food, they stayed put, planted seeds, and domesticated animals. It completely flipped the script on human history. Once we had a steady food supply, we could build permanent villages, which eventually led to cities and entire civilizations. Do you think that trade off, giving up a nomadic, free life for the security of a farm, was actually a good deal for us?
How did trade influence food culture?
Let me look into that. It's a bit of a double edged sword. On one hand, opening up to trade has been a huge engine for growth in places like India and Vietnam, creating jobs and helping a lot of people move into the middle class. It lets countries specialize in what they're best at and get their goods into way bigger markets. But there's a flip side. It can drive up inequality because the people in protected industries often lose out when tariffs vanish. Plus, if a country relies too heavily on exporting just one or two things, like a specific crop, they're totally at the mercy of global price swings. It's basically a high risk, high reward game. Do you think the growth is worth the instability it creates?
Why are speed important in food story?
Because food is rarely just about the calories, it's about the story behind it. When people talk about food, they're usually talking about their heritage, their family, or a specific memory. The way someone describes a recipe or the secret ingredient is where the emotion lives. It turns a simple meal into a connection between people. Do you think the way people talk about their favorite foods says something about who they are?
What role does food play in tradition?
Mm, I'm not sure I follow. What exactly are we talking about when you say those? And which channel do you mean?
How is food connected to eating?
Connected to what? You cut off there.
Why do families share meals together?
I'm not sure I follow. Why do families share what? I didn't quite catch that last part.
How has food changed our country?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. How has food changed our what? You lost me at the end there.
What are traditional food?
Such a broad question because nice is different for everyone. Some people love the comfort of something like a warm bowl of pasta or a fresh piece of sourdough bread. Others go for the bold, spicy flavors of a Thai curry or a really authentic taco. I've heard that a perfectly ripe mango or a piece of dark chocolate are some of the most universally loved tastes. What about you? What's a food that always feels nice to you? Hey, just a heads up, our call is almost at the time limit and will end in about a minute. I don't want you to get cut off mid thought. You can always call me back later to pick this up.
Why do people celebrate with food?
I'm not totally sure what you mean by get less red with food. Are you talking about a physical reaction like a rash or blushing, or is it more of a metaphor?
How do grapes affect food
Yeah, I'm
choice?
a little confused. What? I'm totally lost on that one. I didn't catch a word of that. Could you say it again?
What food are common in Asia?
Asia is huge. So
What food are common in Asia?
I'm guessing you mean what foods are common in Asia? Since it's such a massive continent, it varies a ton, but rice is pretty much the staple everywhere. Are you looking for something specific or just curious about the general vibe?
What food are common in
I'm not sure I follow. Are you asking if people make money by creating food art or maybe where you can go to see food art?
What food are common in Africa?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm totally lost on that one. What do you mean by our command in Africa?
What food are common in the Middle East?
I'm still not quite catching you. What do you mean by command in the medley?
How did migration spread food ideas?
That depends on what this is, but generally, the best way to spread a good idea is to make it a story. People don't usually connect with dry facts, they connect with how an idea actually changes a life or solves a real problem.
What
Are
is
you thinking of
strict?
a strict usually means following rules exactly without any flexibility, like a teacher who doesn't allow any late assignments or a very tight set of guidelines. Do you feel like people around you are too strict or are you thinking about it in a different way?
What is street food?
It basically means being direct and honest without any fluff or hidden meanings. If someone is straightforward, they say exactly what they mean, so there's no guessing. Do you prefer it when people are blunt like that, or do you think it can be a bit too much?
Why is street food popular?
Which one? Being that like straightforward or something else we were talking about?
What is fast food?
It's food designed to be prepared and served as quickly as possible. Think burgers, fries, and tacos, stuff you can grab and go, usually from a chain. It's popular because it's convenient, but it's definitely not the healthiest way to eat. Do you have a go to spot when you're in a rush?
What how did fast food become global?
Let me check on that. It really took off in the 70s and 80s as cities grew and people's lives got faster. Big companies like McDonald's basically treated food like an assembly line, which made it cheap, fast, and exactly the same no matter where you were. They also got smart and started glocalizing, which is just a fancy way of saying they tweaked their menus to fit local tastes in different countries. It's basically a mix of convenience and clever marketing. Do you think that uniformity is what makes it appealing, or is it just the speed?
What are healthy food?
Basically, it's food that gives your body what it needs to function well. Lots of nutrients and not too much of the processed stuff. I'm talking about things like fresh vegetables, fruits, nuts, lean proteins, and whole grains. It's less about one specific superfood and more about having a good balance. Do you try to eat healthy or is it more of a struggle for you? Just a heads up, our call is almost at the time limit and will end in about a minute. I don't want you to get cut off mid thought. You can always call me back later to pick this up.
Why is lentil nutrition important?
Mm, I'm not sure. I follow What do you mean by the interior? Are you talking about the inside of a building, a person's inner self, or something else entirely?
How do just junk food affect health?
If you're talking about what's up,
Why why do
just
people
check. Lulu, who's
what
that?
what is organic food?
Basically, it's food grown without synthetic pesticides, fertilizers, or GMOs. It's all about using more natural methods to keep the soil healthy. Ever tried it, or do you stick to the regular stuff?
Why do people choose publication date?
Whoa. Um, I'm not sure I follow. But what do you mean by generation date? Are you talking about something specific like food labels or maybe something with tech?
What is veganism?
It's a lifestyle and diet that cuts out all animal products, so no meat, dairy, eggs, or even honey. Most people do it for the animals, the planet, or their own health. You think you could ever give up cheese, or is that a deal breaker?
What food are considered good?
Mm. Oh, sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What were you saying?
Why do some people fast?
People do it for all sorts of reasons. For a lot, it's spiritual or religious, like a way to cleanse the soul or show devotion. Others do it for health, like intermittent fasting to help with weight or energy. Do you fast, or are you just curious about why others do?
How does food connect to festival?
I'm a bit lost on this one. Are you talking about a fitness tracker or maybe something related to weightlifting? What exactly are you trying to connect?
What is comfort food?
I'm still not quite. I'm sorry, I'm really not following. Could you?
Why do emotions?
We will. I'm just here to be a good companion. Oh, oh, moving on to what? You've got me curious.
Why do emotions affect eating?
Make what exactly? Follow what? I think I lost the thread.
What is food distribution?
I'm not sure I get anytime.
Why is food waste a problem?
Do I'm not sure what you mean by for us. Are you talking about a specific problem humans are facing or something more personal? Um,
How can we reduce food waste?
the big one is just planning ahead, like making a grocery list so you don't buy things you won't actually eat. Also, getting better at using leftovers or freezing things before they go bad. Do you find yourself throwing away a lot of food or are you pretty good at using it all up?
What is food security?
Um, I'm not sure what shivergy is. I've never heard that word before. Did you mean synergy or maybe something else? Hey, just a heads up, our call is about to hit the time limit. You can always call me back later, though.
How does climate affect food production?
Let me check on that. Mainly, it stops things like apples or avocados from turning brown. The citric acid and vitamin C act as antioxidants that block the enzymes that cause that discoloration. It also helps preserve food by slowing down bacteria and adding a bright flavor. Though, if you add it to something like spinach too early, it can actually make it look darker.
What is
You
the
good? Not much. Just hanging out with you. What's on your mind?
what is the history of food? What is history of food?
I'm not sure I follow. Do you mean what I'm worried about or something else?
How is technology change food?
It's kind of wild, right? I think it mostly shrinks the world, making everything instant. But I wonder if that speed actually makes us more connected or just more distracted. What do you think?
What is fine dining?
Oh, I'm not sure who Vinny is. Are you asking about a specific person or maybe a word that sounds like that?
Why do food trends become popular?
I think it's usually a mix of curiosity and social signaling. People love the feeling of discovering something new, and then seeing it all over social media makes it feel like a shared experience. Plus, a lot of trends just hit on a flavor combo that actually works. Do you think most trends are just hype, or do they usually bring something actually good to the table?
How has social media changed food countries?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you say it again?
Why do people enjoy trying new food?
I'm not sure who Valengi or Newport are, but that's a very sweet thing to say. What's on your mind?
Why is food part of national bread?
I'm a little confused. What specifically are you referring to when you say what? Are you talking about a certain product or a specific type of resource?
What are famous food around the world?
That's that's a big question. Are you talking about the best places to visit, the kindest people, or maybe just the best things in life in general?
How does food tell a story about a story?
I'm not sure I follow. Who are the four you're talking about? Are they characters in a book? Oh, wait, sorry, I'm totally lost on that one. Who are the four you mean?
What is the science of taste?
Are you talking about scientific testing, like how experiments and trials work, or anytime? What's on your mind now?
Why do people have favorite food?
You're welcome. Anything else you're curious about? No problem at all. What's up?
How does food affect the economy?
It's a huge ripple effect. Basically, better education usually leads to a more skilled workforce, which drives innovation and higher wages. But it's a bit of a trade off since people are out of the workforce while they're studying. Do you think the traditional school system is actually preparing people for the modern economy, or is it outdated?
What is food as an art for?
Hey, just a heads up, our call is almost at the time limit, so it'll end in about a minute. You can always call me back later, though. As for art, I think it's best when it's used to express the things we can't quite put into words. It's like a bridge to another person's perspective. What do you think art is best for?